You've got to pay more tax to sell secondhand clothes in the UK now after the side hustle tax. I'm going to use this video to explain whether I think that was the right thing for HMRC to do. How's everybody doing? It's Spencer Line, as per the guy that started a brand in 2012 and is now here talking to you lovely people on YouTube, TikTok, or wherever it is that you might see about secondhand, about reselling, about the economy of business, fashion, talk, all of that good Gucci stuff. So this video today is going to be talking about HMRC and whether what they did with the side hustle tax and applying that was the right thing for them to do. The first thing out of all of this, what I actually want to address is the fact that if you are generating money in the UK, if you're generating money in a country, you are expected to pay tax. It's very easy to focus on the big companies that maybe pay different versions of tax or have found their own way of legal or illegal loopholes. If you're in this country and you generate money and it goes through your bank account, you are susceptible to paying tax. That's just an underlying thing. Now, I think that there's some complexity to whether I think what they've done was the right thing or not. And I'm going to come from a different approach and angle with this one. I'm not pro-government, pro-HMRC, pro the UK policies all the time. I wanted to break this one down so that everybody can understand. So for anybody who doesn't know, HMRC, as of this year, instigated a side hustle tax, which basically means that if you make £1,000 or more, you are susceptible to paying a tax for that. A lot of people have kicked off about this, and maybe it's just been the way that they've directed this news. Underlinedly, if you are making money online in 2024, the government will know about it. They are having conversations with your bank based on the apps you use and generate that money. Anything that's through an online transaction. You know, should you be actually worried about this? No, the same as it was anyway. It's just that now they're going to be aware if you make more money and you don't make a note of it. If you keep up to date with what you make and how you generate it and monitor that profit that you're actually making, then you can understand the system that you're a part of. One big promoting thing that I've always done, which I always advise, is if you don't want to pay tax, then you have to spend your profits on investing back into your business. That way you are technically not making profit because you are investing it back in, and pay yourself a base salary or whatever you're able to afford. This is why I don't think HMRC did the right thing with this side hustle tax. The main reason why there's an issue with the delivery of the side hustle tax that they've mentioned is because there's a massive UK discouragement now to the process of buying and selling secondhand. And not just buying and selling their clothes as a means of making it secondhand. You know, somebody might have bought some clothes and they're like, I just wanted to sell them online and now I feel discouraged. There's this whole thing where people feel very scared very quickly because side hustle tax, you're not supposed to be doing that, and all these words that create a lot of red flag words that I would say, where you hear them and you feel nervous if you're unsure about how it all works. The issue that I find in this situation is that by creating a discouragement for people wanting to resell, it encourages people to use landfill. It encourages people to incorrectly dispose of the products that they might have. Now, you could be buying and selling old books, dealing with electronics. It doesn't just have to be clothing, it's the actual secondhand nature of the product where there's this new allocated tax. And I've seen a lot of comments with people who on TikTok and they're going, I am not going to waste my time even dealing with it, I'm just going to throw it in the bin, and it's easier that way. The reason why I think that HMRC hasn't gone around this in the correct way to encourage people, they focus primarily on the issue of the tax. With secondhand as a nature of its business, if you are generating money, that's a fact. However, it's second hand. It's something that's been owned by somebody before. The VAT has been paid when the person made the transaction in the first place and bought it new, and now as a result, you're susceptible to paying extra tax, or you know, the tax based on the profit as a result of it. I don't have the solutions. I don't work for the government. I don't like have a system for how they could have combated this in a way that wouldn't discourage people to buy and sell, but would also not discourage people to think about throwing things in the bin, and therefore it's almost like creating an anti-recycling policy. I do genuinely think that with secondhand businesses, I think that they are poorly encouraged in this country to actually run as businesses. I think that if you are distributing and buying and selling secondhand, yes, you're making a side hustle and you're building a business which you should allocate the tax for relevantly there. You are being green, you are being sustainable, and in a world where we are encouraged, or like, you know, most people turn a blind eye to this sort of sustainable approach because it's easier, same way somebody will eat meat because it's easier to focus on eating meat rather than thinking about the slaughtering of animals. Not a tangent, it's this ignorance is bliss approach that people seem to have. My point with this is that as a result of the way the government has instilled this narrative around side hustle tax, there's two sides of this story, and these profiling lines where you've got people who will now be nervous about the business that they've created and maybe think second about even continuing it. It just means you've got to be clued up on the figures and facts and how things work in the UK. And the second is the people who will be so discouraged to even sell because they're thinking about this tax that might not affect them, that they will be unsustainable and throw things in the bin, creating a huger landfill problem. Yeah, it's a big thumbs up to the UK government for creating that system in which they felt they had to do that. I can't disagree with the fact that you should pay tax on the profits you make. It's just a fair economy and a fair society that we live in if everybody pays tax for the profit they make that goes through online transactions the same way as somebody having a job. The issue that I have mostly is for the people is the delivery of this approach in the second-hand economy, where we really should encourage people to sell second-hand and build and fuel that economy that is the recycling and reusing and repurposing ecosystem. We're early into this, and I just want to use this video to say, if you're a reseller and you're now thinking twice because of this new side hustle tax, or you've got a full-time job and you're wondering how this might impact you, stick about on the videos. Make sure to drop a comment with anything that you want me to address, and we can research and delve into it together. And I've got real big plans of using this platform to really insightfully bring information to you as quick as possible and efficiently as possible. I think that this topic is definitely a big one, and it's good to understand exactly how this will work for small sellers, for big businesses, and for the general ecosystem of secondhand and sustainability. Do me a favor, drop a subscribe or a like or a comment or anything like that, just to keep things ticking in the right way, and I will do my best to giving you the best intel on everything. Also, I have something exciting. If you want to invest in your reselling journey and you want to learn a little bit more, I've launched a Patreon, £4 a month, and the T's and C's of what content you will receive is all over there, as it may be 2 videos and a webinar or 3 videos a month. Guys, it's a non-obligation, it's £4 a month, but if you want to understand more about strategies for selling, ways to speak to wholesalers, and maybe topics that are a little bit more complex to go through on YouTube videos, then feel free to join, become a member, and come and join the team of peeps that want to get their money up in a sustainable way. Guys, as always, it's honestly super. It's always a really nice time making these videos and talking, and I really hope you guys are enjoying the journey of the videos. And if you've ever got any topics you want me to address, please feel free to drop a comment. I've just popped 2 videos. Let's say this one's the HMRC one, and this one is about sustainability through marketing. Big up, guys, as always. Stay sustainable, stay safe, stay original. Just do you and enjoy the process. Big up.